Hey, keep me where the light is, keep me where the bright is. Two left feet, you tell me where the ride is. I've been on the low side, I've been on the right side.
Hey, it's me, Ari, and I'm back with another video. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today's video is like a little story time, but it's my story on how I became over 400 pounds. This video was kind of really sensitive to me, and like I normally wouldn't share a story like this, especially not on the internet. And I know some people might say, why are you sharing depressing things? But I feel like my story can inspire other people, and I know I'm not the only person that this has happened to, and I know that there are other people out there who've been through the same thing, and people who are going through the same thing. And if my story can just, inspire someone who is going through what I'm going through, or touch somebody, I'm about inspiring others and helping others. That's just what I want to do. So, and a lot of people ask, I feel like it's not rude in a sense on how you ask me. So, why not make a YouTube video about it? Why not share my story? Why not give people understanding and help people who judge to don't just look at somebody and judge them. Get to know them, figure them out, and then eventually they're going to tell you their story. So that's what I'm doing today. But yeah, disclaimer, I might get emotional, but I promise you I'm fine. And if there's anybody with the same story or somebody going through the same thing, I advise you to please tell somebody, and please know that you're going to get through it, and it's going to end up being your testimony and stripes underneath your belt. And you're so strong for going through this. And remember that God only puts his toughest soldiers through the hardest battles. So let's go. So, growing up, I was like athletic. I did a lot. I played soccer and basketball. Even when I started gaining weight, I still was active. It didn't stop me from doing the things I did as a kid. But I really, I was always I guess a little chunky, but I was never to the point where it was unhealthy. I just baby fat, and my dad's side of the family is big boned. So I mean, I'm not meant to be skinny, so yeah. Anyway, it's happened. My weight gain started when I was 8 years old because I was molested by a family friend. I am so sorry, family friend, but he was like a family member. And all I remember, I remember everything, but I don't want to give details. A part I do remember is him saying, don't tell anybody else, I'm gonna hurt your family. And I was just at 8 years old, you don't know. You're told to listen to adults. You just don't know. You just, I was 8. I just didn't know. So I just went into my room and I told myself that I would forget. And that's exactly what I did. And I lived my day-to-day life. My parents had no idea. They do now, by the way, they do now. So basically, I didn't know at the time, but I know now that I started using food to help me cope. I started eating when I was sad, or eating when I was happy, or eating when I was mad, or sometimes eating when I was bored. That's how bad it got. It started small, just sneaking extra food, maybe sneaking a popsicle out the fridge, or sometimes if I felt like I was still hungry, I would just ask for more food, when usually I never worried about food like that. I mean, I would eat what my mom gave me and then keep it pushing because I just wanted to go outside and play. So that's kind of where it started, with me eating my emotions. And then, as I got older, I still kept the same coping mechanisms. mechanism. When my brother was 8, he started playing football. And I noticed that a lot of my parents' attention was going to him playing football. And, I felt abandoned. I mean, I hate to say it, and it might not be true in their eyes, but in my eyes, I felt abandoned. But, I love my brother, and I'll always support him to this day, because even though I felt like that, it never stopped me from supporting my brother. I don't want people to think that, I never supported him. I always support him. I still support him to this day, and I'm very proud to call him my brother. But that's just how I felt. So when I felt that way, guess what I did? Eat more. I was eating more than I was, doing my activities, and that wasn't good. So and I got bullied a little bit in 4th and 5th grade, and some in 6th grade, but after that it kind of stopped. And that didn't help either. I still eat, even though I wasn't like too much bigger than other students. You could tell I was different, and I ate my feelings away again. So by the time I left middle school, I was probably like over 200 pounds. And I was also on the step team in middle school. So it was like, those are the activities, like, because, I had practice a lot. So it was just like, even though I was doing things, it wasn't enough to the amount that I was eating when I went home. And no, it's not my parents' fault, because they didn't know that I was sneaking food at the time. And my mom started making us lunches because she thought I was gaining weight because I was eating school food. So she started making me and my brother's lunch. So she knew what was going in it. So then, going into high school, everything was fine. I felt like nobody really talked about me because nobody really cared. But I was still eating my emotions and stuff because of things that were happening at home. I'm trying to remember, 8th grade to sophomore year of high school, I was depressed, very depressed, to where I had suicidal thoughts, to where I wanted to die, to where I almost tried to kill myself, because of the relationship me and my dad had. My dad has told me things that I feel like no daughter should hear, and yes, he's apologized, but obviously it still leaves a mark, because it's something that I feel like I wouldn't ever forget, but I can forgive. So, me and my dad's relationship was really bad. When I say he's told me some really messed up things, he has. And so that made me want to eat, because I didn't feel accepted by my own father. It's made me strong as hell, but it hurt because I never felt accepted by my father. And I always felt like, dang, it's so many people who don't have parents, who don't have a dad, and here I have one, and this is how you freaking treats me. That's just how I felt, and it hurt. And it makes me emotional even to this day. It just hurt because I didn't feel accepted. I felt like all he saw was on the outside. He never wanted to get to know me from the inside, I felt like he never wanted to know the real me. All he saw was my weight, and I understand that a parent has to care for their child if they're unhealthy, and I know that he wanted him to be healthy, but I wanted him to get to know me for me first. Because every conversation that me and my dad had growing up was just about my weight. And what did that make me do? It made me want to eat, because that's what I was so used to for years. And so I just remember times where I would just sit in my room, close the door, and lock it after my dad has told me something that hurt my feelings so bad. My self-esteem was gone. And as a kid, it's crazy because you have so much confidence, and then the world begins to slowly take your confidence away. Yes, I guess if you let them, but if you're hearing you're fat, oh, you're ugly, from multiple people, you start to believe it. So I started to lose confidence, self-esteem was trash, and this is from 8th to sophomore year. That's when it was really bad. I always had self-esteem issues, but in that time frame is when it was the worst. Like, that's when I had suicidal thoughts. But no one at my school would ever know. And you can ask any one of, like, all my high school friends, if they're even watching this, they would never know. Literally, I never, went to school sad. I was happy. I was a happy person. That's what people saw on the outside. Because I never allowed myself to open up. Because I didn't want to ruin somebody's day and be a burden to somebody else. So, there was times, like, where, hell, in, like, middle school, I think we started to take the CRCT or whatever, like in 6th and 7th grade. I think it stopped in 8th grade. And I remember my dad, he had told me something, like, his life miserable or something. And that morning, I had to take the CRCT. Imagine being a kid, seeing your own parent telling you something like that, and you having to go to take a major test to pass a grade. It was hard, but I did it. So my dad telling me stuff like that, it really made me strong. I don't want to mess up my makeup. I don't want to cry. I don't want to get teary, but I'm getting a little teary, but I'm not gonna cry. So anyway, just stuff like that. And I would do that. Sometimes on a daily basis, I would do that. Go to school after bawling my eyes out, sucking it up, getting on a bus with all that in my head, smiling at people saying, "Hey, how are you? Hey, Ariana, hey." It was not healthy. I kept everything on the inside. Me and my mom wasn't as close as we are now. So, like, the only person who probably knows is my dog. My dog. I have a Yorkie. Her name is Peanut. Her name was Peanut because she passed. But, that's all I had. She knew everything. Because that's who I would talk to. Because I just didn't want to burden anybody else with the crap I had going on. Sorry, I need a minute. Okay, so let's move on. So that's kind of like what I was dealing with in my, like, depressed mode, like, very depressed. And just imagine, like, I was pretty young going through this stuff. I kind of feel like I had to grow up, like, sort of fast, because I had to learn how to be there for myself, because I wouldn't allow other people to be there for me. I was everybody else's rock, but it's like the rock needs a rock. So it was kind of hard, but like I said, I was a strong person, so it never fazed me. I never thought about how much I went through until the day that I told my mom. And we're gonna get to that. So anyway, like I said, I just remember days in my room where I would just, me and my dad would argue, and I would just go in my room and cry and cry and cry. Like, I would cry until my lungs hurt, until, like, I couldn't cry no more. That's, like, how bad it was. And I just remember my dog would come and scratch on my door and just sit with me. She's all I kind of had. I just kept everything on the inside and prayed to God and tell God that it's gonna be better. And the day that I really tried to commit suicide, I was about to take a whole bunch of painkillers. Hell, I didn't know. I was like, 14, 15? Hell, I didn't know, like, I was just about to take a whole bunch of leave or something to relieve all the pain that I was going through. And I feel like God saved my life, because my mom's mom was dying of Alzheimer's. And I just knew, like, how could I be so selfish to take my life when my mom is about to lose her mother? And that is the only reason that day that I did not go through with it. And then I started praying. I was just like, God, why am I on this earth? Like, I don't get it. Like, why am I here? I was just closing my eyes. I was just praying and praying. I was like, God, please. Why what is my purpose? Like, because I felt like I had no purpose on this earth, really. Deep down, that's just how I felt. So, let's fast forward. I mean, that was 8th grade to sophomore year. My sophomore year of high school, it's probably when I felt like I was most depressed. But it was October 31st, 2015. Is the day that I decided to tell my mom. I remember it was 3 days before that. I was just like in a bad state, and I was just praying, and I was just like, God, why am I like this? What happened to me? Why am I this size? Why don't I have confidence? Why is my life like this? Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, why am I like this? And so that night, it's like I had a dream. And it's like, it's just like that thought of what happened to me when I was 8. I feel like it was yesterday. Like, I still remember it like it was yesterday. But when it happened, I felt like it had just re-happened. Like, I went through it all over again. I kid you not. It was like a dream in my head. And I woke up and I was just like, started crying. Because I was like, wow, that happened to me. And I just started crying because it was just like, it was like I was reliving it. And it wasn't something that I wanted to relive. And I just remember, like, literally, like a scene from a movie, balled up in the corner of my bed, crying my eyes out because of what happened to me, because I remembered that I was molested. And I just thank God for, like, I mean, yes, it was hard to relive it, but I thank God for bringing it back to my attention so that I could address it and let it go. So the couple days into the trip, like, I cried every day, almost every second. I could not get the thought out of my head, and I just kept crying because I was like, damn, why did that happen to me? Like, I was questioning God, I was upset, I was crying. My parents didn't know. Anytime that I would cry, I would always go to my room and lock the door. And my mom, they worked. So we were planning a trip to Savannah with my best friend at the time, my brother and my brother's friends. And I cried that day before we packed up and we got on the road, and that's all I could think about the whole time. The whole 3 days, the whole trip while we were driving, and I was just like, man, I gotta tell her. I don't feel like this feeling is never gonna go away unless I tell somebody. And I looked in the back seat and they were all asleep. And I told her, I said, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she was like, what? And I was like, I told her. I was like, when I was 8, something bad happened to me. And I told her not to get mad. And she was like, what? And I was like, I told her who it was, and I was like, he molested me. And she started crying because it made sense of the things that I would do growing up, but I never paid attention to. She was like, and she started crying, and she was like, I'm just so sorry that happened to you. And she was like, I wish you would have told me sooner, but I understand it's your timing. And she was just like, you know, she was like saying sorry, and she was like, a lot of this makes sense. Because growing up, and even now sometimes, I don't like being like alone with a man, like an older man, because it makes me nervous. It makes me really nervous. It makes me uncomfortable. And because how much I wanted my dad's attention, because I felt like he was supposed to rescue me, save me, like, you know, protect me. But so it like all made sense and clicked. And I felt so much relief when I told her. She wouldn't tell my dad, and I did not want her to tell my dad because I was so scared he was going to get mad at me. So when we got back from the trip, she told my dad, and my dad was like, it's probably good he told me he was sorry, and he was like, it was probably God's plan for me to know now, because if I would have knew then I'll probably be in jail. And I believe my father when he says that, because I just believe him. So then things got better. I felt better. I was happier. 2 weeks later, I ended up forgiving the man who did molest me, because I just wanted that to let it go and to forgive him. And I felt like if I didn't forgive him, it would be me holding a grudge over someone I didn't want to think about anymore. So I forgave him. And so I remember like asking my mom, like, Mom, why did this have to happen to me? He took so much and I didn't even know. I felt like he took the rest of the childhood I was supposed to have away. I felt like he did take my body. I was 8 years old. How was I supposed to cope with something? I don't know how to drink or do drugs. I mean, I needed something to cope, and food was there. Food was there. You had to eat every day. So I blame him. I do still blame him a little bit, but I don't think about it anymore. For taking my body away, and my confidence, and my self-esteem, and my trust with men, and me and my dad's relationship, and me getting bullied, and me feeling worthless and unaccepted. He took a lot from an 8-year-old little girl. I'm sorry. So yeah, he took a lot from me. And my mom was just like, that's what she told me. God doesn't make mistakes. He puts his toughest soldiers through the hardest battles because he knows that they're gonna make it through. And it makes me emotional because it makes sense. Maybe God sees me as strong, but sometimes I don't feel strong. Sometimes, it's like I want to break. And I get it. Maybe God does see me as a strong person, but sometimes I don't feel strong. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. But I try, and I try to keep fighting, and I try to stay positive. But it gets overwhelming. But I'm still here today. I'm telling this story, even though it makes me get emotional sometimes. I did not want to cry because I really did my makeup. Anyways. So after that happened, and I told my parents that I forgave him, things got better, and then things got worse, because I did not know how to let food go. I was using food for 8 years, and I didn't know how to let it go. It's like a junkie that keeps relapsing. I did not know how to let food go. I did not know what else to do to cope, and I would use dancing and singing, but I felt like it wasn't enough. When I graduated high school, I weighed probably over 300 pounds. Coming into college was a good experience for me. I was still using food. I'm a junior in college now, and I weigh over 400 pounds. So in my lifespan, I gained so much weight. And even though I forgave him, I thought maybe that would be the end and I would lose all my weight, but that wasn't the case, because for years I was using food to help me go, and I just really could not let it go. For some reason, I could not let food go. And which brings us to today. When I went to college, it was kind of hard because being without my parents, and so used to them being here. Yeah, I've had a good college experience. I've met some great people, amazing people. yeah, and then my parents getting a divorce, finding out, I had a little sister by my dad, and my grandma was getting worse. All of that didn't help my freshman year in college. It made me want to eat more and use food, and that's what I did. But around like a year ago, I decided that I really did want to change. I was tired of being big. I was tired of feeling tired. I was tired of being tired. I was just tired of being big and not being able to do all the things that I want to do. So that's when I decided to, get my act together and get this weight off. So that's kind of like my story and of how I gained this weight. But I promise you, it's only going up from here. The scale's going down, but spiritually, mentally, and physically. No, physically I'm going down, but spiritually and mentally, I'm going up. And I'm gonna be the best person I can be so that I can be successful in this world and do all the things that I want to do. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Let me think. If you made it to the end of the video, I want you to comment, I got this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that I got a little sobby. I really, really try not to. Sometimes it brings up a lot of emotions. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this opened your eyes a little bit better and that you feel a little bit more connected to me as a person. Like I said, if anybody is going through this, I hope that you decide to tell somebody and know that you're a strong person. And if anybody wants to ever reach out to me, I'll put my social medias down below and you can DM me on any one of them and I promise that I will reply. Just know that you're strong. Like I said, thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe.